Hi, I am Save the Frogs founder, Dr. Kerry Kriger. It's Thursday, February 19th, 2026. And this is a Save the Frogs grants discussion. We're going to be talking about Save the Frogs grants in particular, but most of what I teach here, or that you're going to learn here, is probably applicable to any grant writing that you will do. And hopefully, if you're in the amphibian conservation world, biological sciences, research, conservation, nonprofits, you will be seeking funds. Why? Hopefully, because if you have more money to work with, then you will probably accomplish more. So let's make sure that you increase the rate of success for your applications, because if you don't know what's going on and you apply, you're probably going to get rejected. And I'll even take it a step further and say if you apply for a grant, you're probably going to get rejected. Not necessarily from Save the Frogs. I looked at our acceptance rate yesterday. I'd never actually looked at it. Looked like it was like 65%, 70%, so that's pretty good. But in general, across the globe, if you apply for a grant, you're probably going to get rejected. That's just the way it goes. Not, I'd say, less than 50% of applications get approved from grantors. So what can you do? You can make sure that everything you write and the budget you prepare and the everything about your submission is as good as possible, so that you increase that rate and get a whole lot more money coming in to fund your conservation events. With that being said, it's not necessarily my plan to teach anything. I was just going to answer questions. But that being said, I did recently publish. I think we should actually start by, I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go to my all-time favorite Save the Frog, my all-time favorite amphibian website. That would be Save the Frogs. And let's get that up here. All right, Anuradha, can you give me a thumbs up if you see my Save the Frogs website up here? Okay, good. Hey, we're at SaveTheFrogs.com on the home page. And right here, hey, there's a search button. I'd make use of it to search whatever you're looking for. But let's just go straight to, well, let's start it out with the grants page and see what's there. SaveTheFrogs.com/grants, your one-stop shop for Save the Frogs grant information. Hey, this number's gone up. I think we've given out over $220,000 in grants or so. Let's see. Let's start out with this. What kind of grants do we give out? Amphibian conservation grants. We're not accepting applications for those until June or so. I believe the application period's June 1 to July 1, but go to that page and find out and be certain of it. Always submit your grants on time. If you're late, chances are you're getting rejected. All right, the next, so what are those? Amphibian conservation grants. Pretty much anything you want to do to help amphibians, you can apply for, though we will look at the allowed and not allowed list right here, but that's the general thing. Whereas Save the Frogs Day grants and travel grants, right now we're accepting those through March 1st, 2026. Save the Frogs Day grants are specifically to organize a Save the Frogs Day event or events. Save the Frogs Day, April 28th every year. We've been holding Save the Frogs Day every year since 2009, so I think this will be like the 18th annual Save the Frogs Day. It is the world's original and longest running and most organized, most impactful, annually celebrated amphibian education event. We also have travel grants. Travel grants are primarily for going to a scientific conference and giving a presentation. We're not going to fund you if you're setting up a poster. We're not going to fund you if you are just going to attend a conference. Other possible thing is if there's some kind of slightly less traditional training or workshop that you are going to be teaching at or training at, not simply participating at. All right, so let's see. Hey, on this page, hey, there's a lot of stuff. You can take a look at that drop down. You're all probably on the grants notification list. if you know someone who wants grants, hey, send them there. Tell them to get on the notification list. And, okay, hey, what we fund, let's just run through this real fast. All right, projects that provide clear benefit to amphibian populations. That means if you're not working on amphibians, don't apply. All right, projects with an amphibian focus that promote a society that respects and appreciates nature and wildlife. That's our mission right there. Environmental education, environmental journalism, graphic design, videos, arts, books, podcasts, music, other communication media that raises awareness for amphibians. Scientific research that has a clear conservation benefit. If you're just, I want to go study frogs, that's not enough. And if you have a clear conservation benefit in your project, but you don't clearly explain it to us, the grants committee, you're probably not going to get funded. So there's two parts. There's, do you have a clear conservation benefit in your research, and do you clearly explain that to us and convince us that what you're doing is going to help amphibians? Why do I have to put extra emphasis on that? Because I come from the academic world, and in the academic world there is research traditionally, okay, and there's a bubble in which you, the person at the university, or me, the person who was at the university, lives in, and you're in that bubble and you don't see what else is going on, and everyone talks the same way pretty much, and they talk about doing the research, publishing the research, doing the research, publishing the research. Hopefully that's changed. I may be exaggerating, but generally speaking, if you're in the world of academia, the application of your research tends to be less important than simply doing the research well, publishing the research, repeat. Okay, so we need to make sure that you see that when you apply to us, it's not just going to be this will help people, you know, this will help guide people who draw up conservation plans. That's not enough. You got to be more clear. Okay. All right, scientific, okay, habitat protection, creation, restoration. You want to plant trees for endangered frogs. You want to protect the habitat against the bad corporations that are coming in. You want to build wetlands, restore wetlands. That's all stuff we fund. Policy, campaigning, legislative and enforcement efforts. You want to prevent illegal poachers from taking frogs out of the forest. You want to work with the government to develop legislation. That's all stuff we could potentially fund. All right, projects by nonprofit organizations based anywhere on the planet. Yes, if you are associated with a nonprofit organization outside of the USA, then you can apply with that organization being the organization that is the official recipient of the grant. We're not allowed to send you money as you individual person living outside of the USA. If you're in the USA, we can send you money as in whether you're an individual or whether you're an organization. But if you're outside of the USA, you need to be affiliated with a nonprofit organization who is officially the recipient. All right, if you have questions about that, just hey, you can ask me now, or you can email me. All right, conference travel, if you'll be presenting or running an informational table or event. Hey, I didn't even know that was there, but no one applies for that anyway. So if that is your plan, that is possible. There's events, people set up informational tables. You have to purchase materials to have on the table, and you have to get there. That's possibly something. I don't think we've ever actually received a application for that, and I didn't even know that was up on the site. All right, let's see. Save the Frogs Day events, project aimed at raising funds for Save the Frogs. And we accept, hey, look at this one, what we fund. Grant applications in which the budget has correct math, precise prices based on actual price research, and clearly explains why each item is being requested. All right, consider the opposites of those. You send in budgets with math errors, not good. Estimated prices like this will be $100, that'll be $200, this will be $50. I know those are just guesses because things don't generally cost $100, $200, $50, especially if you're converting from a foreign currency. Okay, they're going to cost 57 rupees. Okay, 172 pesos. Those are real numbers. all right, that actually had some research go into them. Otherwise, I have to wonder, are you just guessing this? All right, clearly explains why each item is being requested. The opposite of that is just put something in the budget that wasn't even discussed in the main proposal, and then I don't know what it is. Like, why are you asking for $103.47 or whatever for this thing that I don't even know what it is? All right, what we don't fund projects that have no relation to amphibians, scientific research without a clear conservation benefit, individuals outside of the USA, projects that harm individual amphibians or amphibian populations. That means if you are doing some kind of scientific research, it may have a conservation benefit, but does it harm the individual amphibian? If so, we're probably not going to fund it. Amphibian commerce, trade, transport, captive raising, or aquaculture. If you have amphibians in captivity as part of your project, we're probably not going to fund it. If you're buying, selling amphibians, we're not going to fund it. Grant applications that have, oh, here it is. Here's the opposite of what we had before. Grant applications that have budgets containing mathematical errors or estimated prices. Okay, always provide precise prices. Hey, we even have a budget section in our course about fundraising, which is what I was planning to go to. So anyway, sum it all up. Make sure you read that twice. Okay, read it again. Click through to any of these links to find out about the 3 different types of grants that we fund and get the specifics on those and apply through the links that you will find there. All right, top of the page, Save the Frogs Academy link. All right, everybody who applies for a grant has to be a Save the Frogs member. So if you're not yet a member, first off, how do you become a member? Here's a button right here, link for membership. Do you have to pay to be a member? No, but you could, or you could donate to become a member, and I encourage you to. Hey, you'll probably feel pretty good. Usually donating feels good, and it helps the organization. But if you don't have funds to do that, then you can still probably get the link right here or right here to Scholarships Academy. Scholarships. Go apply for a scholarship. Hey, I have not looked at scholarship applications that have come in, so it's possible that some of you out here saw that and applied for a scholarship. It has not been approved. I'll go do that today. So chances are if you wrote up a decent scholarship application, decent means what? Don't put like half a sentence. I love frogs. Okay? Why do you want to be a member? I love frogs. Then I'll just think you're not worth my time to approve. Okay? Reject. I don't reject many scholarship applications. If you write an actual like paragraph, I like frogs because, or I like Save the Frogs because, or I want this scholarship because it will help me do this, that, and this is something about me, I know you're a real person and that you're probably going to make the most of the scholarship and it will get approved. So anyway, why am I talking about scholarships? Because you need to be a member, and the scholarship gives you membership at no cost to you. All right, once you're a member, you can access the entire Save the Frogs Academy archives and apply for the grants. Okay, so why are we in Save the Frogs Academy if we're talking about grants? Because right here, training, is that where it would be? Let's see. Boom. There it is. Hey, there's a section called training with a course called fundraising. Oh yes, that's why this all started. I wasn't originally planning to present anything. I was just going to be like, hey, who's got questions, or tell us what's going on, and we will get to that momentarily. But right here, I did recently put in this how to prepare grant budgets that get funded quick summary. Hey, there's like 24 lessons in here. I will say that the more of these that you go through, the higher the chance that you will win the grant. So if the grant's not very important to you, don't even worry about this, but why waste your time? If the grant's important to you, and if grant writing in general and raising funds for your conservation efforts is important to you, I encourage you to slowly but surely, doesn't all have to be this week or by March 1st, but slowly but surely go through every single one of these lessons in here. Watch all the videos, read all the text, and it will make you a better grant writer and a better funded conservationist. All right, so if you're just going to go to one of these, make it this one, The Ultimate Guide to Writing Successful Save the Frogs Grant Proposals. I created that last year. And the one I just recently created is this one. So if you've already been through all these, you're just looking for something new. How to prepare grant budgets that get funded. Quick summary. So let's just go through that, because if you send a bad budget, then one thing I'll say, if you send in traditionally, Save the Frogs, as opposed to the vast majority of other granting organizations, and this is because I want you to submit better proposals. I want your project to succeed. I specifically usually give you input on your grant proposal and even give you an opportunity to fix things. Okay, as opposed to a lot of granting organizations, they are in a hurry. They receive hundreds of proposals, who knows what, thousands maybe, and it's like, reject, reject, approve, reject, reject, approve. All you're getting is a letter that says you didn't win the grant. Good luck. Okay, but I usually like to tell you what went wrong, what could be better, and because I want your project to get funded, but I'm not ready to say yes yet, I may send you a thing and see, hey, you need to fix this up. Okay, so what am I getting at? Submit a good budget, and not only will you have a higher chance of getting funded, but you won't waste my time telling you the things that are in this course that I've repeated over and over and over throughout this course that I see, and I have to repeat over and over and over because I see the same mistakes over and over and over coming from so many people. Okay, I don't want you to be that person, and please, I'm asking you, help me out, make my life easier by reading through these things, understanding them, and applying them. So here's the summary of this, okay? And I certainly have other things to say on budgets, but this is what's in this lesson, okay? Good budgets are organized. They're easy on the eyes, okay? If you look at a good budget versus a disorganized budget, you can just tell right away. When I open up the Excel sheet or whatever it's in, first off, if it's just like type out my budget in a Word doc, or just here's some text, hey, I need this much money, bad idea. Put it in an Excel sheet or a CSV or Airtable or something that's grid format, okay? And you'll be much better off for a variety of reasons, okay? The second I open up the Excel spreadsheet or whatever it's in, I can tell if it's organized or disorganized, okay? So think about it visually. Does it look good? All right, is it clear enough that any reviewer instantly understands what you're purchasing? That's the most important thing probably of all. I look at budgets, I'm like, what are you purchasing? Like, what's this money for? Because the explanation is not clear at all. Based on real prices, not estimates. I've already discussed that. All right, poor budgets, vague, or mixed units. What's that even mean? A mixed unit is, I'm going to buy 50 days at the school or something. Like, what are you buying? You're buying 50 days at the school? What is a day at the school? Like, you can purchase a day at the school? No, you're buying like 50, 50. I literally get things that are like that I don't even know what you're buying, okay? As opposed to I'm buying 50 pencils. Oh, you're buying 50 pencils. That's easy to understand, okay? You're buying 2 hours of the guide's time to take you out looking for frogs. That's easy to understand. You're buying 3 round-trip tickets on a bus from this city to that city. That's easy to understand. All right, so if I can't say it like that, you're buying this many of that, okay? There's a number of something, and there's the units. I'm going to walk 5 kilometers, okay? That's a unit. Kilometers are units. All right, so think about it like that. I want to buy X number of these things, and that's what the budget should tell me what's going on. Round numbers that signal guessing, $100, okay, versus like $98. Maybe sometimes it'll be 100, but if all your stuff is just like, this will be 50, this will be 100, this will be 75, then I know you're just guessing. All right, items that don't match the project description, stuff you did not talk about in the project should not be in the budget. Every budget line must use clear, real units. All right, so let's get some examples. 3 hotel nights, 18 lunches, 6 headlamps. I know what you're buying when I read those things. 7 notebooks and pens. A notebook is not a pen. How many notebooks and how many pens? Let's get down to the smallest unit. Put a row for each thing. 7 notebooks, 3 pens. And then I know how many you need here. 4 notebooks and 3 pens. 6 meals for 3 days. Right? 6 meals for 3 days. What's that mean? Is that 6 meals or is that 18 meals? Is that 6 breakfasts, 6 lunches, 6 dinners? I can't tell what's going on. 30 snacks. I don't know what a snack is. Tell me what you're buying. All right? 30 granola bars. I know what that is. 30 snacks. I don't know. Is that a big snack or a small snack or who knows what? Get specific. If you cannot get specific, it's because you have not thought about what you're going to do in your application and in your project. And if you don't know you're going to do in your project, I definitely don't, and the grantor doesn't want to fund it usually. All right. Rule of thumb, 1 row is 1 specific item. Have you ever noticed how in Excel or whatever spreadsheet system you use, there's an unending number of rows. Like maybe it ends, I don't know, but you can have like thousands and thousands of rows. So why not just make a row for each thing? Break down cost to the smallest practical unit. That's what I'm saying. Instead of meals for 3 days, use breakfasts. Okay? Specify the quantity. And per whom, that's a mistake right there. For whom, maybe that means like for the guides, for me, for the volunteer, I don't know. 18 lunches, 6 students times 3 days at the venue. Okay, I need to fix that thing. Use real prices. We've already talked about it, so I'm going to skip that right there. Keep the total budget modest and reasonable. Oh, Save the Frogs gives up to $750 for Save the Frogs Day grants. I'm going to ask for $750. Okay, first of all, real things in your budget probably don't add up to an exact $750, do they? If you're actually using real prices, it'll be like, $738 or $754. Hey, you're over now. All right, but also, if you're brand new and it's your first time asking, or generally speaking, let's just think about it like this. The more you ask for, the higher the chance of your rejection. Let that be a rule, a universal rule of grants. The more you ask for, the higher your chance of rejection. The less you ask for, the higher your chance of approval. Why? Because it's easy to give someone a little amount of money. It's hard to give someone a lot of money. Okay? So the more you're asking for, the better your application needs to be. And in general, the more history with Save the Frogs you should likely have. I'm not saying you can't ask for the maximum amount if it's your first time applying, but your chances are not as high as asking for a less amount. Start with a low cost. All right. Start with a low cost, a local event. All right. Travel costs a lot. I see a lot of budget requests for tons of travel, hotels, buses for multiple people, meals for all the people who are leaving their town for so long to go to that faraway location, as opposed to just go out locally. Think of the difference in costs, right? Costs must match the project description. All right, I already talked about your budget items need to have been discussed in the project. Request 1,000 Don't request 1,000 stickers if you only have 30 students who are attending. Everything needs to make sense. Okay, the stuff you ask for in your budget needs to make sense with the project you were discussing. Don't mix budgets for different projects. If you're applying for Save the Frogs Day, you should only be asking money for Save the Frogs Day, not for your other stuff in your conservation world that's going on. All right, minimize travel and personnel. Why? Because more travel, more personnel costs more money, and that decreases your chances. All right. Ask for what you need. Don't ask for what you don't need. Budgets reflect trust and credibility. Your budget's one of the most important parts of your application. True or false? True. It's true. Many applications get rejected simply because the budget was potentially terrible. Like, hey, that was a great proposal. I love this project. Then I see the budget and it's like, what? Like, that was not even anything that should have ever been submitted. Hopefully you won't be like that, and usually it's not that bad, but it sometimes is. All right. Inaccurate or inflated budgets suggest poor planning, lack of local knowledge, potential misuse of funds. Clear, realistic budgets demonstrate careful preparation, local expertise, responsible stewardship. That's what we want. All right. Final advice: start small, prove you can execute well with limited resources. All right, keep it local, minimize travel and work within your community. Use real units and real prices. Show you've done your research. build credibility. Successful small projects lead to larger funding. A well crafted, modest budget is far more likely to be funded than an ambitious, expensive one. All right, hey, welcome back, everybody. And if you're you just showed up here, hey, I'm Save the Frogs founder, Dr. Kerry Kriger. Now, I've spoken a whole lot. Now I want to hear what you guys have to say. Now that you all know, go to savethefrogs.com/grants. Read everything on those pages to know what we allow, what we don't allow, what we want, what we don't want. Go to Save the Frogs Academy fundraising course. Take those lessons and make sure you're a member so that you can apply for a scholarship if you are unable to donate to become a member. All right, let's see if your video's on. I'm going to spotlight you, and maybe we will let video people speak first. Hey, if you have a question, don't be shy. Don't think everyone here knows. Everyone here is a great grant writer. Maybe some of you are, I hope so. But don't assume that your question is something that everybody knows, because I can guarantee you not everyone knows the answer. Hey, I may not know the answer either. Let's see who else is here. We got Margot out there. Welcome. And some new people here. Coffee, Dr. Atia Utsab Rayamachi. I can't see the end of your name. Chikwudi. Amanda. Raksha. Vrushali's back. Samsung user. Tanvir Ahmed, possibly. Say the Frogs. Grantee. Fabi Zavala. Peyton. Mohammed Shaheen. Nancy Toad Friend. Longtime supporter. And Save the Frogs online event enthusiast. Hey, we have another one of these events happening at 11 a.m. my time. That's 8 a.m. Los Angeles time, 2 hours earlier tomorrow. So if you want to come on back, I'm sure we'll talk about different stuff and have some different people. Come on back tomorrow. And we've got Save the Frogs South Asia meetups happen the last Saturday of every month. We will have a Save the Frogs Mexico meetup coming up very soon, and I'll be announcing different kind of events. Hey, what events are coming up? We've got World Frog Day on March 20th, worldfrogday.org. I created that website. Haven't added anything to it recently, but I will. And we've got the brand new, yet to be announced through the newsletter, World Salamander Day. And I built that website, and I did add 2 articles to it. Click the blog link if you can find it. I don't know if it's prominent yet. And that's March 28th. So if you're into salamanders, March 28th. If you want to hold a World Salamander Day event, let me know. And then we've got Save the Frogs Day happening on April 28th. And hi, Abeji, Cassie. And hey, maybe we'll get a Save the Frogs Africa meeting coming back sometime soon. Julian, welcome. All right, with that, Anurada, you're up here on video. I'm going to give you first dibs on saying hello. Tell people where you're at. You're a Save the Frogs grantee. You've held Save the Frogs Day events in the past. Would you like to tell us anything about you, your organization, and ask whatever question you have?
Yeah, thank you, Kerry. Extremely happy to be here with you. Thank you so much for sharing the information and guiding us once again. So, this time we are definitely trying to apply, but the only challenge we are facing is regarding the foreign funding. So, we are trying to look how that will be possible, whether we can get the funds either through your India office. So, that is something we are already discussing with you. So, our proposal is almost ready. So we have already planned very interesting activities, both online and offline. So I think online activities are also equally entertained as a part of the proposal for the grant, because we have planned some online sessions, awareness sessions, plus some podcast series, and also on the social media, the Instagram, we will be having a week long, inviting experts from the local region also and the country level also, and of course we would love to have you also again. So this is the online events that we are planning. Through the social media, we are trying to generate as much awareness as possible. And then we will be having offline events also in Lucknow, in Uttar Pradesh, and in Rajasthan, and few more places that we are trying to work with our collaborating partners, that is the schools and the universities. So this is the plan, and we are trying to this time develop a kind of a conservation kit also. Conservation tool Frog conservation kit. Basically, that will be a compilation of some basic facts related to the frogs, right? And of course, along with that, how to like do the baseline surveys in the neighborhood during the rainy season and in the season when the frogs are generally seen in India. So this will have like three or four kinds of material. So this is one particular plan, and we are also trying to develop frog ambassadors. Like we are going to build the capacities of certain youth volunteers so that they become completely trained to be able to guide the other students in their college or campus to take up small initiatives around frogs. So it could be setting up a frog table during their annual events or any exhibitions, and also conducting, and we are also looking for some wetland restoration project. So recently we found out two or three very important, very big lakes around our area. So we are trying to talk to the Department of Forest if we can take up the restoration work along with their guidance. And also in the process, we can also touch upon the various like species which are very important part in the wetland, and frogs being one of them.
Do you
So
have
I
any
would just
questions
need
for
your,
me related to the grants?
yeah, so I just wanted to know whether all these activities could be a part of the grant, like
How
even,
many activities did you just mention?
so basically
Just
broadly two
just
sets of,
take a guess in as a number. How many you got online and offline? Yes, but how many total
yeah,
things did you just mention?
total would be around 10 to 12
Okay,
activities.
are you prepared to write up an application that fully, thoroughly describes 10 to 12 activities and
Yes,
correctly budgets for 10 to 12 activities? Okay, good.
right, right,
All right,
right.
then it's fine because they're all related to amphibian education and conservation. Why did I bring that
Mm.
up? Because um, if you go to that first lesson in Save the Frogs Academy fundraising course, the ultimate guide, there's a very clear section on there about the more stuff you try to accomplish, the better your application needs to be. Otherwise, you're like,
Mhm.
I want to do 10 things, and each one is like barely explained, and the budget is out of who knows what. So I bring that up
Right.
just from past experience. So if you're fine to do 10 to 12 things and explain 10 to 12 things in the grant application and correctly budget for everything, then it's fine with me. If it's all, that all fall, if it all falls in amphibian conservation and education, makes sense for Save the Frogs Day events, then it's good. It's just up to you to make it clear in your grant application.
Okay. So wetland restoration also we can show, like it won't be taking care of the complete restoration, but certain amount of activities we will be doing to spread the awareness about the importance of wetland
All right,
as a habitat, as an ecosystem.
there's a question, I believe, in the grant application. How does this fit into a bigger project if it does? So for you, you would just have to state right there, hey, specifically, I'm talking about the wetlands. This is the start of it. It's going to continue. Or maybe it's not going to continue and you hope it. Maybe there's
Mhm.
not a plan. I don't know, but it sounds like there is. So that's the kind of stuff we want to know. Because if you just say, like, we're going to dig the hole or something, but, we're not going to do anything more, then we want to know, like, hey, is someone going to, you know, plant native vegetation there? Is there going to be any kind of follow
Mhm.
up or stuff like that? All right. Anything else?
Right. No, thank you so much.
Okay. Thank
I
you and
would,
good.
I have a
Yep.
question for her. I'm just wondering, you mentioned online events. I'm wondering, can any of those be accessed, internationally?
Yeah, let me. All her stuff is. I have been a guest on her event. She has it. Why don't you type in Anurada? I know some of the stuff is Instagram Live. I don't know if that's your plan going forward, but why don't you put in the chat your Instagram channel and hey, people out there can go follow
sure.
her because is that where you think the live stuff is going to be, or is it going to be YouTube Live? Is it going to be on Zoom? Or are people going to have to
Yeah.
register, or what's the plan?
Yeah, so we will be doing live on Instagram also, YouTube also, and we will be holding sessions, Zoom sessions also. But the link will be shared with the international audience also. So, Nancy, definitely we would be inviting
All right, thank you.
and sharing the invite with the Kerry and through the Save the Frog website also, if Kerry would.
I am. It's
Thanks.
very drab that way.
Everyone out there, I haven't even mentioned, hey, if you hold a Save the Frogs Day event, please. Hopefully, my sound is coming through. I see internet connection is not good. You hold a Save the Frogs Day event, register your Save the Frogs Day event. SaveTheFrogs.com/day has all the info on Save the Frogs Day, and I believe the page to register is SaveTheFrogs.com/register. Okay, whatever it is, make sure you register your event. Why? Because I want to know how many events have taken place. Then I can communicate that to our donors and supporters and potential volunteers to inspire them. And because if you apply, then you can put in all the info, such as our schedule of events is this, this, and that. We're gonna be live on YouTube and Instagram at this time or that time. Here's how to connect. All right, so Anuradha could include all of that information in her Save the Frogs Day registration, which then would get up online and people can access that and see, hey, there's going to be online events going on and I can access those. Okay? All right, thank you. Anyone who has a question, ideally, show us your undee video. How do you say that? Video yourself. You can't. We can unmute ourselves. Can we undee video ourselves? Turn on your video if you can. Otherwise, turn on your microphone at the very least and ask a question. What can you ask? Hey, we got Margo, so I don't even need to explain what we can ask and can't ask. Ask anything you want, but we could also review your grant live for everybody to see as
Hello, good
Margo
afternoon.
has done. Let me mute you, Chuck Woody, because we already got Margo up here, but we'll get you up here next so you can prepare yourself. Margo, hello.
Yes, I think you know my question. I tried to submit our application and was unable to do that
Okay,
because
everybody out there, we have
my misunderstanding.
I don't know if you misunderstood anything. We have a potential. There's some weirdo thing that may still be happening on our forms that may ask you to indefinitely prove if you're either human or amphibian. Either one of those works fine for us, but the thing is, it doesn't seem to like the answers, and you cannot submit your form. Some people have, but Margot says she's having trouble. I want to change to a different form system. I haven't gotten that done yet, and I said, hey, that's fine anyway, because I really don't want to see your application until and unless ideally you've shown up on an event like this to be a better submitter, as opposed to, I know I actually removed it from the site yesterday. It did, there was a tip on there that I'm sure some of you have seen that was like, tip, submit your application early so that you're the first application the grantor sees.
I
And they
tried.
see it and fall in love with it. But the reality for me, I don't look at anything until the due date comes, because I don't want to. Some of our grants committee, they do. They want to get stuff done and see it as it comes in. I just want to wait for it all to come in so that I can see it all together. And even so, I don't want people to submit on the first of the month on the first day possible, because then they don't get to come to an event like this, and then they show up at an, or they show up and they're like, hey, I already submitted it. Can I submit another? Can I fix it up? And you should assume that you're never going to be able to fix anything. When you hit the submit button, that would be Frederick likes to submit early. That's cool. Frederick, I think, was the first person to register a Save the Frogs Day event. He did that many months ago, so that's cool. But ideally, assume throughout the world of grant writing that the second you hit that submit button, you're not going to be changing anything about that application. Frederick, we'll get you up here. We got Chuck Woody, and then we'll get you up here after that. So give me a few moments. So Margot, yes, I will fix that form today. I'll probably just rebuild the entire form because it's doing weird stuff. Is that your only question?
Yep,
Okay.
that's it.
All right.
We've combed your website, we've combed your videos, we've combed everything.
Good.
We dotted every I, we crossed every T, and probably we still will have done something wrong. You are picky, man.
I know, but and anyone, if you've ever gotten an actual review from me, I hope I've been known to be I'm not trying to offend anyone, but I'm going to give you my honest opinions, and sometimes that takes up a lot of stuff. So if you say, "Wow, he sent me like 50 things," or I mean, I usually don't send, but I have been known to give a lot of things. I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm just trying to give you my actual
I
real
still love
world
you, Kerry.
feedback. Thank you,
Still
Margot.
coming back for more.
Thank you, Margot. You painted some frog painting that was up in the Save the Frogs Education Center in the early 2010s. You've been around here a long time. Margot is a Save the Frogs donor, eco-tourist, volunteer, grantee, Save the Frogs Day event organizer, and the founder of A Frog House, a 501c3 public charity dedicated to frog education. You want to tell them briefly about some of your Frog House activities and how to find you at the Frog House?
It is, as you're fussy about your name, Carrie, I'm fussy about mine. It's a frog house
A
because
frog,
we hope there
correct.
will
I
be
did
many
say
more.
a frog
A
house, but
frog
then I
house,
wanted them to find the frog house because
the
there's an
frog house.
actual
Okay.
house, the frog house at a frog house. But yes, a frog house.
It's very tiny. It's very tiny, 10 foot by 10 foot, filled with Save the Frogs uh, things and a lot of paraphernalia of frogs that people have given over the years. We're open from the first weekend in May till the last weekend in October. Our website is afroghouse.org. I got inspired because probably, let's see, 8 years before our daughter moved here and there was a property to use, I had joined Save the Frogs, and I've been just in love with frogs ever since. Or I don't know about in love, I've just been compelled. It's like a compulsion. It's a mission. So I've been lucky enough to be able to survive and grow a bit. Last year we put in 3 vernal ponds in a public space and also a permaculture garden. And this year our project is to get to after the model of Tom Big, not him, Doug Tallamy's backyard national parks. We had leftover material, and we thought after the vernal ponds, we thought we could make little kits for people. And so we're going to make 8 kits this year and distribute them to 8 families with a grant from Village and Wilderness and another one from Climate Learning and Education. And so we will be demonstrating those kits at the Save the Frogs Day event, and we'll be having some activities. We'll have a ribbon cutting for the arboretum where the vernal ponds and the permaculture garden is. And so we hope this will be a nice launch, and that eventually we can go public with a professional build your own backyard vernal pond kit. People don't need kits. Tom has made it very easy for people to build their own vernal ponds, but sometimes it's a fun thing for parents to do with their kids, and maybe they don't want to do too much work about it. But we'll be checking out the effects of these, how they work, what wildlife comes, what is required to maintain them, and so forth. We have an instructional booklet, and uh, Peyton, do you have anything else to add?
I think you just about covered it. It's a project we're really excited about, and I'm really happy to be working with Margot. I'm her executive assistant for now at the Frog House. Oh my gosh, I almost said the Frog House. But yeah, it's great, and we're really excited about the project. So thanks for having us.
You're muted. Hey, hey.
Who, me?
Thank you.
No,
No, that was me.
Kerry.
Thank you,
Oh.
Margot. If everybody was as quick to wave me down when I spoke muted as you, that would be good. All right, yes, thank you to A Frog House for everything you do. All right, let's get Chuck Woody up here. Chuck Woody, you can turn on your video if you want, and or you can turn on your mic and let us know what's going on.
Okay, hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Hi, where are you from, first off?
I'm Nigerian, but I'm a PhD student at Howard University. I'm
Okay.
in Washington, D.C.
Where are you? Oh, you're in Washington, D.C.?
Yeah,
Oh, you're at Howard University. Did we
yeah.
talk like a few months ago? Or no?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, that's cool. Um, why don't you go ahead and put April 19th on your will you be there in April?
Where is the venue?
Will you be in Washington D.C. in April?
Yes.
Okay, well, we're going to have the Million Frog March as we did in November, and it's the permit is. I'm still waiting on the exact date. It's probably going to be April 19th, previously scheduled for April 25th, but assume that'll happen. And actually, there was I think Howard University. I think the radio promoted the last Million Frog March. I never found out who it was who did that, but that was cool. So let's be in touch about that. Hey, what's the URL?
Okay.
Is savethefrogs.com/march. That should get you there. Go check that out. And that being said, it's not a well.
Okay.
It just anyway. What's your question about Save the Frogs grants?
Okay. Doing my PhD dissertation on amphibians from West and Central Africa. So I wanted to know if I'm applying for any grant, if I can combine it with my PhD dissertation, or I should prepare a separate proposal for the Save the Frog grant.
It doesn't matter to me if it's part of your hobby on the side or if it's part of your PhD efforts. I got fun. I got my PhD candidacy was made possible by grantors. So as long as it's amphibian related and you need the funds to do it, and it's something we would want to fund, then it can certainly be part of your dissertation or whatever.
Okay, that sounds cool. Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right. What is your um, topic? You're doing stuff with frogs in Nigeria or all throughout Western Africa.
Yeah, I'm focusing on mountain amphibians,
Okay. All right. Good. Why did you
frogs on the
this
mountain.
frogs on montane amphibians and what was the draw to
Yeah.
Howard University specifically?
Sorry, what did you say?
Why did you end up at Howard University, which from my experience I've never heard of any amphibian biology going on there. But maybe there is. I didn't know though.
Oh, we have a lab that deals on frogs and fish from Africa.
Okay.
So you can check out
Yeah,
Energy
good.
Ecology and Genetics Lab.
Okay, good. I did not
So
know
my
that.
professor works with frogs from Africa.
All right. Well, maybe speak to your professor and see if you all could host a Save the Frogs Day event there that I could come speak at because I'll be in the area in April.
Okay.
All right, good. All right,
Yeah.
thanks.
Thank
All right,
you.
yeah. Let's get Frederick. Are you out there? You are.
Hi, Dr. Kerry.
Hi. How's it going?
We're doing good. The amphibian project, the Calonia, the Wida project is going on well. And we are really preparing for the Safe From Day on April 28th. Yeah. So everything is fine. I can't complain. And in case I always have issues, I always reach out to your email. So yeah.
You're muted.
Good. Hey, everyone out there, we've got 5 minutes, so if you've got a question, now's the time to ask it, or come on back tomorrow. The session tomorrow starts 2 hours earlier than the one started today, so that'll be 8 a.m. Los Angeles time, February 20th. Anyone have a question or something they want to say?
Oh, Kerry, this is
Hi.
Kay Holmes.
Hi, Kay.
Hi, hi. I just have a couple resource questions. Do you have materials in Spanish? I work with a almost completely newcomer group. And also, is there a map available that shows where the different Save the Frog or frog programs are going on
Events?
internationally?
Yeah, good question. Long ago, we had a map with pins on it that had to be manually created. We haven't done that in a long time, but I am going to build a I'll build a map of some sort this year, and let me put that on my list. Say the frogs a map, so that there will be a pin, and that'll all go to
Oh, thank you.
savethefrogs.com. The place, I don't know if this has been built yet, or there's definitely not much there yet. There may be a registration for the online event, but savethefrogs.com/day dash 2026 is where all that kind of stuff will be. And the first question, Spanish materials for education. We do have some. We don't have enough, but I would start and just type Espanol into the search bar. That's what I'm going to do right now and just see what comes up. Save the Frogs Day, and nothing comes up in particular right there.
It
First,
is
first I'll tell you that our entire website is translated into Spanish and like
okay.
12 other languages. So if you're able to just open the website and go around the website with people, you can do that. There's a little flag icon at the very top right of the site you can click. So here's kids, Save the Frog Spanish, how to help flyer in Spanish, schools top 10 flyer in Spanish. So those are three things. Let's go
Okay.
ahead and see
Thank
what.
you.
Yes. Anyone else out there have a question? Meanwhile, I'm going to chat in these links. It looks like they're in the kids section of Save the Frogs Academy. Maybe so, maybe not. But here comes at least a few links for you. Haven't updated these in many years. All right, Amanda, no questions. Wanted to learn more about overall amphibian conservation resources. New professor at Longwood in Virginia. Hey, that's cool. Um, let's get a talk set up at Longwood and work with the chytrid fungus. Started surveying for amphibians. BioBlitz. Good to combine with Save the Frogs. Good. Let's do some Save the Frogs activity at Longwood. I got invited recently to a walk that's going to take place maybe with Shenandoah River State Park. I think it was State Parks, Shenandoah. That was maybe near Luray Caverns or something. That's happening on World Salamander Day, March 28th. So maybe be there for that. You never know. All right, we got Prithvi Innovations, Anurada's information right there. And let's see. I think we're out of time because I have another meeting right now. And hey, I gave everyone a chance to ask their questions, so I assume everyone's good. So I'll say good luck with everything. Thanks for your interest in Save the Frogs. Come on back tomorrow for another Save the Frogs grants discussion. And that's it. Thanks for helping save the frogs. See you soon. Bye.